What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. And are you ready? Are you ready for this? I hope you're ready because I am ready. And actually, this is the Willumsen Copenhagen Red E. R-E-D-E, not R-E-A-D-Y. This knife was sent to me by my friend Jason. Jason has a YouTube channel called Puerto Rican with a Knife. Give him a follow. Super cool guy. Great knives too, and if you're into knives, you'll like his channel. Alright, let's talk about this little chunker here. Also, let you guys know I'm a little bit hoarse, so if you hear a lot of I apologize in advance. So, a couple things I really like about this knife. Oops, as I almost drop it, but this knife has some issues for me. But God, there's one thing about this knife that makes me really want to like it, and it almost makes me want to overlook the things that I don't like about it. Before we get into all that, let's go over the specs real quick. Blade length on this knife, well, the overall length 6.7 inches. I took all these measurements myself, by the way. I couldn't find the specs online anywhere. The weight is the one that really surprised me with how little this is. It's 4.3 ounces. Blade stock's 130 thousandths. The handles are textured G10. It's on cage ceramic ball bearings, excuse me. Deep carry pocket clip that is stainless steel. Mounts underneath the scale, as you can see there, so you can move it over for the lefties, which is always good with an Axis style lock, because doesn't matter which side it goes on, it works the same, right? Thumb stud deployment, flat grind, Sandvik 14C blade steel. What else did I leave out? Blade length, well, that's subjective with this one. If you come to here, the blade length is 2 5/8 inches, somewhere in that range, with about a 2.5 inch, or 2 3/4 inches with a 2.5 inch cutting edge. If you come back here, it's over 3 inches, but with the shape of the scales, I'm not sure, where to go from. But from right here, you're at like almost 2 3/4 inches. So that's what we're going to call it. 4.3 ounces on this little guy, which surprised me. It honestly didn't feel that heavy to me in hand. It is kind of thick. The thickness of the handle is 1/2 inch at the thickest spot here, and they are contoured, which really assists in the thing that I like the most about this knife, and the texturing on the G10. This is one of the most ergonomic, just melt in your hand knives I've ever held. And with the forward finger choil and the jimping there, it just locks you in right there at the edge of that blade. The jimping's out here where your thumb lands. It's not way back here like some knives. They put it out there where it needs to be. And it just feels absolutely amazing in hand. And that's what makes this knife such a disappointment for me. I'll tell you why I'm disappointed in a minute. Let's do a couple size comparisons. Here's the Bitster Riverstone, another little chunker. Here is the Bestech Man Ronin, a little chunky in the handle, but much longer than the Ready. I don't have many knives that are chunkers like this, but that's going to change. That is going to change for sure. Here's the Urban EDC F5.5. These two are almost identical lengthwise. This is a little thicker in the handle, a little taller on the blade, but lengthwise almost identical. Here is the Spyderco Sage 5. Almost dropped it. Thank goodness I didn't. A little bit shorter than the Sage 5. Here is the Spyderco Para 3. A little shorter than the Para 3 also. What do we got? What do we got here that's thick? Well, these aren't factory scales, but it's thicker. Paramilitary too. So, we got to do the bug out real quick. Or not the bug out and the penguin. We always do a bug out and a penguin. There's the penguin. A little shorter than a penguin. Thickness wise, it's a little bit thicker than a penguin out here at the edge, but not very, just a tiny bit thicker. But in the middle, it's quite a bit thicker because of the contouring. And here's the Benchmade bug out, the Axis Lock King. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Momentarily, actually. There's a couple things about this knife I need to point out. One, this pocket clip, I don't know if Jason's bent it out or not. He may have. He is on Instagram, Puerto Rican with the knife also, so if you're interested in this knife, you can ask him about it also. He has much more experience with it than I do. But you see how far it is off the scale there? The pocket clip. It's also got quite a bit of space back here. Even if I push it down to the scale, quite a bit of space back there in between the scale and the clip. When you put this thing in your jeans, it feels kind of loose in your pocket. It really does feel kind of loose. It's not a big deal. It's not completely moving around, but thought I'd point it out. Something else about this knife. The axis lock action is decent, right? It's decent. It's not Benchmade axis lock action by any means. I love axis lock knives. You guys know that. And they did a decent job on this, but it's, you know, it's nothing special. It performs okay. It's not buttery smooth like a Benchmade or the new Kaisers with the clutch lock. It's not like those, but you know, it feels like a budget axis lock. Feels a little better than maybe some of your $25, $30 budget axis locks. Actually, I'll take that back. The Ganzos feel better than this. It's not that it's bad. It's just, you know, it's not, you know, nothing special in that department. The price on this knife is $75, by the way. You can get these on Amazon. I'll link them in the description below. The thing that drives me the craziest about this knife is that it squeaks. Hear that? I have dropped some lubricant in there to try to get that to go away. It is not the Omega springs that are squeaking. It's something happening in the pivot. I don't know what it is. Lubrication did not change it in any way whatsoever. You know, I normally don't have a problem with a chunky squeaker, right? Or squeaking chunky. I actually, you know, enjoy a chunker that squeaks from time to time. Just don't want my knives to squeak. And I don't, it's kind of odd. I think I feel something on the blade. I'm laughing at myself now. I hope that went over most of your heads because I just sounded like a total moron there. Or maybe a pervert. I don't know. You decide. But I do like a chunky squeaker from time to time. But yeah, I don't know why it's squeaking. Concerns me that over time, whatever that squeaking is going to get worse and cause blade play to happen in the future. As of right now, there's absolutely no blade play, but something in there is rubbing. I don't know. Again, I have not disassembled it. It's not my knife, so that's driving me crazy. The axis lock actions, it's okay. The pocket clip's not the greatest. And why all that is so disappointing is because this is one of the best in hand filling knives I've ever held. It really does feel amazing in hand. You are right up on the edge, man, and you just, the contouring where the jimping lands, the jimping for the index finger, it just feels amazing in hand. I love this. I love how it feels in hand. I absolutely love it. If anybody else knows of another knife similar to this that may not have those issues, doesn't have to be an axis lock, comment below because yeah, I'd love to get something. I'm going to start looking at more chunkers. You know, I just won't be looking for the squeaking kind when it comes to knives. I'll look for those elsewhere. Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. Cool little knife, lots of potential, but this one at least has some issues that I wouldn't recommend it. Not for $75. There's much better options out there. But man, they could work on a couple things. This would be an amazing knife. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all on the next one.